Bombshell alert in Minnesota, Viking Nation. The storm starts right now with a revelation no one saw coming. A controversial rule that's haunted this franchise is about to be exposed. A national analyst just unleashed brutal truth bombs about this roster that will make your blood boil. Rivals are dancing on our grave while we're drowning in disappointment. Draft compensation, that was supposed to be our silver lining, it's crumbling before our eyes. And a cornerback battle is brewing that could either save or sink this defense. Each of these shocks could redefine the future of this team. And trust me, Viking Nation, you're not ready for what's about to unfold. This isn't just another news cycle. This is a reckoning. This is the moment where everything we thought we knew about the 2025 season gets flipped upside down. The purple and gold are under siege from every angle, and the next revelation will hit harder than a Danielle Hunter sack. Stay with me, because the first bombshell is about to detonate inside US Bank Stadium. And if you bleed purple more than you hate the Packers, smash that like button right now. There's a rule in the NFL that's been driving fans absolutely insane for years, and it just reared its ugly head again in the Vikings' recent matchup. A rule so controversial, so brutally punishing, that it can turn a moment of athletic brilliance into a devastating turnover in the blink of an eye. We're talking about the Njoni fumble rule. And after what happened with running back *** Jordan Mason *** against the Eagles, the conversation has exploded back into the spotlight. Picture this, third quarter, Vikings driving hard, Mason takes the handoff and makes a heroic dive toward the goal line. The ball stretched out in his hands like a warrior reaching for glory. He barely gets the ball across that white stripe for a touchdown. Box analyst Greg Olsen immediately pointed out the insane risk Mason just took. Because here's the cruel reality. If Mason had fumbled that ball out of the Njoni, the defense would have been gifted possession, a fumble anywhere else on the field. The offense keeps the ball where it went down, but fumble it through the opponent's Njoni. Boom. Automatic turnover. This rule has been a thorn in the side of football for decades, punishing offensive players for doing exactly what we want them to do, fighting for every single inch, stretching for the goal line, leaving it all on the field. And now, there's a growing movement to change this madness once and for all. The argument is simple. Why is a fumble in the opponent's Njoni punished so much more severely than a fumble literally anywhere else on the entire field? If a running back fumbles at midfield and it rolls out of bounds, the offense keeps possession. If a quarterback fumbles in his own Njoni, we call it a safety, painful, but the offense still gets the ball back, but fumble through the opponent's Njoni, and suddenly the defense gets a free possession. Where's the consistency? The rule actively discourages one of the most exciting plays in football, that desperate reach for the pylon that gets fans out of their seats. The NFL markets these moments in highlight reels, sells them as the epitome of competitive fire, but the rulebook punishes players who attempt them. It's backwards, it's killing the drama the league claims to love. Critics always say, don't fumble the ball. If you can't hold on to it, you don't deserve to score. But let's take that logic to its conclusion. If we really want to punish every fumble with maximum severity, why stop at the Njoni? Let's give every fumble to the defense. Bad snap, defense ball, muff punt, other team gets it. Receiver drops a pass, call it an interception. See how absurd that sounds? The reality is that fumbles happen. It's part of the violent nature of football, and the punishment should fit the crime. Consistently across the entire field. Right now, the Njoni fumble rule is an outlier that makes no sense. And here's what really grinds the gears of Viking Nation. We've been burned by weird rules for years. We know what it's like to have victory ripped away by technicalities. So when we see a rule this illogical still on the books in 2025, it feels like just another way the league is setting us up for heartbreak. The movement to change this rule is gaining steam. Football is at its best when it rewards aggression, when it celebrates players who refuse to quit on a play. The current Njoni fumble rule does the opposite. It punishes courage and ejects randomness that has nothing to do with which team played better. Do you think the NFL should finally change this ridiculous rule? Or are you one of those just hold on to the ball purists? Drop your take in the comments, but hold on. As controversial as that rule debate is, the next update cuts even deeper, because a national analyst just torched this Vikings roster in a way that's going to make you furious. If you thought the rule controversy was going to be the most painful part of this breakdown, you're not ready for what comes next, because ESPN analyst and former NFL quarterback Dan Orlovsky just went on national television and absolutely obliterated the Minnesota Vikings with a truth bomb so brutal that it left Viking Nation reeling. Here's what he said. "I think this is the most disappointing roster in football. Right now, let that sink in. Not underperforming, not struggling. The most disappointing roster in the entire NFL, ouch." And he didn't stop there. He backed up every single word with cold, hard facts that are impossible to argue with. Orlovsky pointed out that this Vikings organization went on an absolute spending spree in the offseason, dropping the second highest amount of money on free agents in the entire league. This was supposed to be a roster built to compete immediately, a team constructed to be quarterback independent. The idea was simple: surround whoever's under center with so much talent that it wouldn't matter. Just plug and play. Right? Wrong? Dead wrong. This offensive line cannot protect consistently, he said, and the stats back him up in the most painful way possible. The Vikings are giving up an average of 4 sacks per game, the third worst mark in the entire NFL. 4 times every single game, the quarterback is getting demolished. That's not a blip. That's a systematic failure. And the defense? The Vikings are surrendering 130 rushing yards per game, 8th worst in the league. Teams are looking at the Vikings defensive front and saying, yeah, well, just run it down their throats, and it's working. Orlovsky even called out the recent blowout loss to the Chargers, where LA came out in a 3-tight-10 formation, ran the ball right at Minnesota's defense, and the Vikings couldn't stop it. Beyond the O-line struggles, the running game is a complete non-factor. Minnesota is averaging a pathetic 9 rushing yards per game, which means they can't establish any balance, can't control the clock, can't take pressure off whoever's throwing. Every game becomes a one-dimensional passing attack, where the defense knows exactly what's coming. And here's where Orlovsky really twisted the knife. He said that Carson Wentz is not the problem. Anyone who wants to tell me Carson Wentz is the problem in Minnesota right now, we can have a conversation and I'll tell you that you're crazy, he declared. Wentz has been far from good. 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a 46 passer rating. But Orlovsky's point is that even if you had Prime Aaron Rodgers back there, this offense would still be a mess because the infrastructure is broken. You can't succeed when you're running for your life on every dropback, when your run game is non-existent, when your defense can't get off the field. The real gut punch here is the expectations versus reality gap. This was supposed to be a playoff team, a legitimate contender. The front office spent like crazy. The coaching staff was coming off a strong 2024 season, and the belief was that this roster was good enough to win. Fast forward to late October 2025, and the Vikings are sitting at 3-4, coming off a humiliating 37-10 beatdown on national television, with the offensive line in shambles, the run defense getting gashed, and the entire operation looking lost. And with J.J. McCarthy set to return in Week 9, there's this looming question. Is he walking into a situation where he can actually succeed, or are we about to throw a rookie into a dysfunctional mess? Orlovsky didn't hold back, and honestly, as much as it hurts to hear, he's not wrong. This roster is the most disappointing in football because the gap between what we thought we'd get and what we're actually seeing is massive. So here's the question. Do you agree with Orlovsky that this is a roster construction failure, or do you still think it's all on the quarterback? And can J.J. McCarthy actually fix this? Sound off in the comments and hit that subscribe button if you're still riding with the Vikings through this nightmare. And just when you think it couldn't get crazier, the next story might just redefine everything you thought you knew. Alright, Viking Nation, I need you to take a deep breath before we dive into this next one. Because what happened this past Sunday Night Football is going to make you want to put your fist through a wall. The Vikings had a chance, a golden chance, to catch a break in the NFC North standings. All they needed was for the Pittsburgh Steelers to take down the Green Bay Packers on primetime television, and suddenly the division race would tighten up. But no, because this is Vikings football, and nothing is ever easy. Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers absolutely demolished the Steelers 35-25, and in doing so, they poured salt directly into the open wound that is the 2025 Viking season. Vikings fans everywhere settled in to watch, secretly hoping for Pittsburgh to pull through, and for a brief moment, there was hope. But then Jordan Love decided to put on an absolute clinic, completing 29 of 37 passes for 360 yards and 3 touchdowns. He carved up Pittsburgh's defense like a Thanksgiving turkey, and every single completion felt like a dagger. And here's the part that really hurts. The Vikings lost to the same Steelers team just weeks ago in Dublin, falling 24-21 in a game they should have won. So watching Pittsburgh get steamrolled by the Packers just reinforces how far behind Minnesota is. If the Vikings can't beat the Steelers and the Packers can obliterate them, what does that say? With that victory, Green Bay improved to 5-1-1 and solidified their position at the top of the NFC North. Meanwhile, the Vikings are sitting at 3-4, 2 games back, staring up at the division that's slipping further away. The Detroit Lions were on their bye week, so their 5-2 record remains untouched. They're sitting pretty, resting up, eating healthy, while the Vikings are drowning in the Chicago Bears. They lost 30-16 to a Baltimore Ravens team playing asterisk. Without asterisk Lamar Jackson, Chicago dropped to 4-3, which means they're still 1 game ahead of Minnesota. The Vikings are in last place in the NFC North, staring at a Packers team that looked like a Super Bowl contender and a Lions team built to dominate for years. The conversation in the Twin Cities has shifted dramatically. There's talk of trading away talent instead of buying at the deadline. There's even been whispers of bringing back Kirk Cousins in a midseason trade. Kirk Cousins, the guy who's 3-4 himself after getting blown out 30-10 by the Dolphins. That's how desperate things have gotten. But hovering above all of this chaos is the return of J.J. McCarthy The rookie quarterback is set to make his debut in Week 9 against the Detroit Lions on the road, and that game has become the most important moment of the Viking season. If J.J. can come in and spark this offense, maybe there's a path back to relevance. But if he struggles, then this season is over. The schedule ahead is brutal. Week 11 brings the Bears to US Bank Stadium. Week 12 is a trip to Lambeau Field. Week 16 sees the Lions come into Minnesota, and the season finale in Week 18. Another showdown with Green Bay at home for games against division rivals, for chances to salvage some pride. But none of that matters if the Vikings can't start winning and watching the Packers dominate on Sunday Night Football while sitting at home, helpless and hopeless, is the kind of torture only a true Viking fan understands. So here's the question: do you still believe this team can turn it around? Or is it time to wave the white flag? And can J.J. McCarthy be the savior? Let me know in the comments. And if you're still standing with this team, hit that subscribe button and prove you're a real member of Skull Nation. But that's not the only fire burning. The next revelation is even more explosive, and it involves the future of this team's draft capital. Listen, Viking Nation, we've been through a lot already, but we're not done yet, because while the on-field product has been a disaster, there's another storm brewing behind the scenes that could have massive implications for the future. We're talking about compensatory draft picks. Earlier this offseason, after free agency settled, the Vikings were projected to receive not 1, not 2, but potentially 3 premium compensatory picks in the 2026 NFL Draft, 3 extra selections to help rebuild. It was a silver lining, a glimmer of hope. Fast forward to late October 2025, and those projections have taken a nosedive. According to Nick Court from Over the Cap, the guru when it comes to comp pick projections, the Vikings are now looking at receiving just *1 premium compensatory selection instead of 3, 1, just 1. So what happened? How did we go from 3 to 1? Buckle up. The good news: the Vikings are virtually guaranteed to receive a 3rd-round compensatory pick for losing Sam Darnold in free agency, who signed a massive contract with Seattle. That pick is locked in, the 97th overall selection, the highest comp pick available. But here's where things go sideways. Earlier, the Vikings were projected to also receive an 4th-round pick, thanks to Daniel Jones landing the starting QB job in Indianapolis and Cam Robinson being traded to Cleveland. Both were playing significant snaps, But then injuries and depth chart shuffle started happening. Eric Wilson, a veteran linebacker who signed with the Vikings this offseason, was supposed to be a depth piece, but then starter *** Blake Cashman *** got hurt, and *** Ivan Pace Jr. *** started struggling, and suddenly Wilson was playing way more snaps than anticipated. In Week 7 against the Eagles, Wilson played 40 defensive snaps, and Pace didn't see the field at all. Against the Chargers, Wilson played 59 snaps and Pace just 17. Here's the problem. Wilson qualifies as a compensatory free agent signing, which means his snaps * cancel out * one of the players the Vikings lost. Specifically, he's canceling out Daniel Jones, which means that projected 4th round comp pick gone. And it gets worse. To other players the Vikings lost *** Trent Sherfield *** and *** Johnny Munt *** aren't playing enough with their new teams Denver and Jacksonville to meet the threshold. Sherfield was seen as having a realistic shot at securing a 3rd comp pick, but his lack of playing time torpedoed that possibility. So now, instead of 3 comp picks, the Vikings are looking at just 1, and that's a massive blow to a front office trying to rebuild while navigating salary cap hell. Here's where it gets interesting. If the Vikings continue to fall out of playoff contention, which seems increasingly likely, there's a real question about whether they should start managing Wilson's playing time, specifically to try and get that 4th round comp pick back. Is it worth potentially hurting your chances now to secure a valuable draft pick for next year? It's a brutal calculation, and it speaks to how far this franchise has fallen. We're talking about a team that spent the 2nd most money on free agents, a team supposed to compete for the playoffs, and now we're having conversations about managing snap counts to maximize comp picks in 2026. Compensatory picks are important. They're extra assets, extra chances to find talent. The difference between 1 and 3 could be the difference between landing a starting caliber player and a special teams contributor. But the fact that the Vikings comp pick projections are declining is just another symptom of the larger dysfunction, injuries, bad depth chart management, poor evaluations, lack of foresight. It all adds up to a franchise spinning its wheels. So what's the takeaway? The present is a disaster, and now the future is looking shakier too. The Vikings were supposed to have extra draft capital in 2026, and that advantage is evaporating. Do you think the Vikings should prioritize winning now, or should they start thinking about 2026 and managing snaps? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but trust me, the night isn't over. The next headline is pure shock. Alright, Skull Nation, we've reached the final chapter, and it's fitting we're ending on defense, because that's where some of the most frustrating storylines have unfolded. We're talking about the cornerback position, and specifically, the disaster that has been *** Jeff Okudah *** when the Vikings signed Okudah to a cheap 1-year deal. The hope was they could unlock the potential of the former 3rd overall pick. He had the physical tools, the pedigree, and *** Brian Flores ** was supposed to be the coach who could finally get it out of him. But 7 games in, it's painfully clear that's not happening. Okudah has appeared in 6 games, playing just 93 defensive snaps, which tells you the coaching staff doesn't trust him. And when he does get on the field, the results have been catastrophic. Pro Football Focus has him graded at 32, or one of the worst marks in the entire NFL. He's been targeted 12 times, allowing 11 receptions for 175 yards and a touchdown, resulting in a quarterback rating of 146. 5 when thrown his direction. Opposing quarterbacks are basically playing at an elite level every time they target Okudah. But it gets worse. Okudah suffered a concussion early in the season and missed a game. Then, against the Chargers, he suffered another concussion. 2 concussions in the same season is a massive red flag. And historically, players who suffer multiple concussions tend to miss extended time. So whether Okudah's concussion keeps him out for 1 game or 5, the reality is the same. It's time for the Vikings to move on and give his backup a real shot. Enter *** Dwight McGlothern ***, the 2nd-year cornerback who has been an absolute star every single summer, only to watch opportunities pass him by when the regular season rolls around. McGlothern, nicknamed Nudie, was an undrafted free agent in 2024, and the Vikings fought to sign him. And from day one, He's been a training camp legend. Over the past 2 preseasons, he's been targeted 13 times in coverage, allowing just 8 receptions for 65 yards, and he's snagged 1 interception, the quarterback rating when thrown at him in preseason, a humiliating 42-1. He's been dominant. Defensive coordinator Brian Flores has even publicly praised McLaughlin, saying after Okudah's first concussion, "We signed Nudie. Nudie obviously had a great training camp and is someone we feel good about. He would be the first guy that comes to mind, and we have a lot of confidence in him." So the coaching staff believes in him. The preseason tape shows he can play, and the alternative, Jeff Okudah, has been a complete liability. So what's the holdup? It's time. It's finally time. McLaughlin is 23 years old, and if the Vikings believe he's part of the future, they need to see what he can do in real games. Can he play worse than Okudah? Sure, things can always get worse, but at this point, with the season slipping away and the defense struggling, what do the Vikings have to lose? Okudah was a low-risk signing that didn't work out. That's okay, but continuing to trot him out there when there's a younger, hungrier, more promising option on the bench is malpractice. McLaughlin has earned his shot, and listen, this is bigger than just one cornerback battle. This is about the identity of this franchise moving forward. Are the Vikings going to keep clinging to failed veterans, or are they going to start investing in young players who might actually be part of the solution? J.J. McCarthy is about to take over at quarterback in Week 9. That's a step toward the future. Now it's time for the defense to follow suit and give McLaughlin his moment. Who knows? Maybe he becomes a legitimate starter. Maybe he struggles. But at least we'll know. At least we'll have an answer. The 2025 season has been a nightmare from start to finish. The offensive line can't protect. The defense can't stop the run. The quarterback position has been a revolving door. The division rivals are running away. And even the comp pick projections are falling apart. But there's still time. Not a lot, but some. J.J. McCarthy could be special. Dwight McLaughlin could be a revelation. The schedule includes 4 division games that could change everything. And if this team can somehow string together a few wins, maybe the playoffs aren't completely out of reach. So here, that's what I need from you, Skull Nation. Sound off in the comments with your brutally honest take. Do you still believe? Are you ready to tank? Do you think J.J. McCarthy can save this season? Should McLaughlin start? Let it all out. And if you're still riding with the Vikings no matter what, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and let the world know that Viking Nation doesn't quit even when everything's on fire. Because if you thought this week felt like an earthquake, what's coming next could be the aftershock that topples the whole season. The next 72 hours might be the most decisive in this franchise's history. Stay tuned, stay loyal, and Skull Vikings forever. And always, Skull.